Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited to make this video about added sugars, the difference between natural sugars and added sugars, as well as all of the questions I've been getting addressing how much sugar, what type of sugar, hidden sources of sugar. I'm going to give you the real science-backed information about what you need to know regarding sugar, carbohydrates, added sugars, the recommended amount per day, also some sources that you may not be aware of. If you're new here, my name is Molly and I'm a nutritional science student at Boston University, and I started this platform to give real science-backed information about nutrition and health that can positively benefit your health and your life. So if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to subscribe down below, hit the bell down below so you get notified for my future health videos, vlogs, recipes, yoga and yoga sculpt videos, as well as debunking diets and all sorts of nutrition information that needs clarification. So first things first, sugar is a type of carbohydrate, and carbohydrates give you energy. You need carbohydrates in your diet. The Dietary Guidelines of America suggest having 45 to 60% of your total calories from carbohydrates. It's your body's best and quickest source of fuel. That being said, carbohydrates are energy, and energy in excess will lead to weight gain. So that is why carbohydrates have been kind of demonized and exaggerated in culture today as it causing weight gain. And that's not necessarily true. Excess any macronutrient will cause weight gain. But what happens in your body when you eat sugar is your blood sugar will increase, or your blood glucose, and insulin, a hormone, is released that triggers storage of nutrients and fat in your body, so that if you enter a famine later, you have natural energy stores that you can use. And don't be afraid of this. This is natural. This is what our body does and helps us survive. The keto diet recently has made a lot of people very concerned that sugar is a toxin or that sugar is an evil macronutrient, and this is not true whatsoever. Sugar is not toxic. Added sugar in excess, of course, is not healthy, and we'll get into that a little bit more later, but sugar in general is not toxic to your body. It's best to consume natural sugars, of course, from fruit and vegetables, carbohydrates, legumes. However, all sugar should not be removed for the diet. In fact, if you remove foods that contain sugar, such as fruits and vegetables, plant-based foods, then you will be at risk for malnutrition and nutrient deficiency. So the difference between natural sugar and added sugar is that natural sugar is just naturally found in foods. So fruits and vegetables, like I mentioned, legumes, a lot of food contain at least a little bit of sugar. Added sugar can come in the form of cane sugar, dextrose, high fructose corn syrup, maltose. There's lots of different names for added sugars. You can do a quick Google search if you like. Anything really ending in ose can be an added sugar. So oftentimes food companies will add different types of sugar so that the first ingredient isn't sugar in a food product, and that all these ingredients can show up later on the food label, because food ingredients show up in order of how much of that food ingredient is in the product. Right now, the American Heart Association recommends women having no more than 25 grams of sugar per day and men having no more than 36 grams of sugar per day, which is a little bit unfair, but men are generally bigger and use more energy than women. However, a big misconception is that natural sugar counts towards this recommendation of 25 grams per day, and it does not. So natural sugar from dairy, from vegetables, fruits, doesn't count towards the 25 grams per day. That's just added sugar that can be reported on the label as added sugar. Most new food labels now are showing the difference between the natural sugar in a product and the added sugar in a product. So I get this question a lot. How does a fruit that has 10 grams of sugar differ from a chocolate chip cookie with 10 grams of sugar? Yes, they both do have 10 grams of sugar, but the orange, or the fruit that has 10 grams of sugar, that is naturally occurring sugar, and it's also coming in a package with fiber, with hundreds of phytonutrients that we are now really realizing are impacting our health in so many different ways, versus a cookie or a packaged food with 10 grams of sugar may not have that fiber, definitely doesn't have the plant phytonutrients, and is not going to impact your health the way that a whole food would. Also, when you eat a food with fiber, that helps to level out the blood sugar and insulin response that your body will feel with the intake of sugar. So it's really important, if you're having a fruit, to also pair it with a protein or a fat, because protein and fat also do the same thing. They help your blood sugar stay regulated and they decrease the insulin response in the body. You have a slower release of energy and you don't feel a crash later, which often happens with high sugar foods that are lacking fiber, protein, or fat. So for example, if you have a packaged cookie or a packaged food with added sugar, your blood glucose spike will be very immediate and level off later. But if you have a fruit with natural sugar and some protein and a fat, you'll have a much slower insulin and blood glucose rise, which is more beneficial to the body. Some other sources of added sugar that you may not realize are often in beverages. So sugar sweetened beverages are one of the main sources of sugar in the American diet. Tomato sauce, salad dressing, anything really processed, breads, and even things that are labeled as healthy may have added sugar. So take a look at the label and just be aware of how much you're having per day. And like I mentioned before, there's lots of different names for sugars, and right here is a list of a few different ways sugar can be written on the label of a food product. So feel free to screenshot this if you want to keep this on your phone or save this video to your notes. Bottom line here is that sugar is not bad. Sugar gives you energy, but it's best to consume natural sugars from plant foods that contain fiber. And when you're eating your fruits and vegetables that contain natural sugar, eat them with a protein or a fat to help keep you satiated, but also balance that blood sugar spike. We need carbohydrates in our diet. They fuel us through our day. However, excess sugar may lead to weight gain, and it's best to keep the added sugar underneath the recommended amount of 25 grams a day per women and 36 grams per day for men. If you have any questions at all, feel free to comment them down below. I love reading your comments and I respond to each and every single one. If you haven't already subscribed, be sure to do that, as well as hit the bell down below so you get updates for all different debunking diet videos, nutrition topics, and other health and wellness videos. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.